Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to another episode of the One Meal Channel. I am Nathan, and people from around the world converge on this channel to watch a 20-something-year-old living in the Midwestern United States make a massive pile of food that's substantial enough to probably feed a family of 3. But it is my one and only meal of the day, and I consume it all in a single sitting in order to satisfy my caloric intake needs. So if you're new here, let's take a tip from our longtime viewers. Grab ourselves your own food or maybe a beverage to enjoy alongside watching this video, because everybody agrees that having your own food or beverage makes this viewing experience even better. Well, welcome back. Let's get on with the video. Hope you all enjoyed that 2-day break that we had. I appreciate all of your patience. We were once again getting back into the chicken breast side of things. Usually I would get some rotisserie chicken and break that apart. It was very convenient because it was pre-cooked, but I think we've gotten to a nice system where we can still put together our meals relatively quickly, despite having to cook up all of this chicken first. I just went to the grocery store. I know I've been kind of teasing you with potentially having some other meal items rather than a chicken, egg fried rice. So I found some chuck roast that was on sale. It's about the same cost of just the chicken itself per pound, which is nice. And I grabbed some stewing vegetables as well. So I think over the next couple of days, I might show you a little crock pot recipe that I really enjoy. And if you would be so kind as to give me your feedback on if that's something you like to watch, let me know. We can get a little bit of variety into the channel with some different food items. Let's see, what else did I get? I think we had a commenter as well that said, I cook so much with chicken, it would be nice to see chicken prepared in a different way. And so I did. I got a whole roast chicken from the store, or a chicken that is supposed to be roasted. And so I think I'll show you just something simple. I haven't cooked with a roast chicken in a while, but I got a bunch of lemons. I have plenty of seasoning here in the house. I'd be happy to prepare that chicken, cook it up, and then break it down into smaller pieces. And like I said, I have plenty of good vegetables. So if we want to maybe make something else, I could use your advice. I can always make another trip to the store and get some things. But I think this week we will have a little bit more variety. And let me tell you why we're having some more variety. For those of you that remember, we take our 2 days off because I have a graveyard shift in the evening with my second job. And usually it's just a regular 8-hour shift, but earlier this week I worked 12 hours because one of the employees that I work with quit. Just straight up quit. So for the next few days, they're going to move me over to more of a swing shift, more of an afternoon shift rather than graveyard, which means I'll have more of an opportunity to make food a little bit earlier in the day. So we're still going to stick to the 5-day-a-week schedule. We're kind of getting into the habit of that, so I think we're going to stick with that. But I don't have to concern myself as much with my sleep schedule because I will be keeping more or less just regular working hours. I'll always be able to get home at a reasonable time in order to go to bed. So I figured now would be a good time to maybe break out a little bit from tradition. I make the same meal every single day. 1, because I like it, but 2, because it's quick and efficient. I know what I'm going to get every time that I make it. There's never any surprises. I know I'm not going to make any mistakes. I know what I have is going to satiate me and I'm going to get the right amount of calories. I think I said this already, but I know exactly how much time it's going to take me to make it as well. This week, let's be a little bit more adventurous and just make some stuff that's fun, share that with you. And if we like it enough, we might even make it again in the future. Since we are making a video every single day, about 5 days a week, making a stew isn't usually a good video idea because stews will cover me for, several days. But we can still make some meal prep stuff for our swing shift that's coming up with some more burritos, which reminds me, actually, I should give you a quick update. I did end up getting some more bacon again, and I decided to get some strip bacon. So no more of the bacon end pieces. We might go back to the bacon end pieces. I made a huge mistake by letting all of this water condense down. We might go back to the bacon end pieces, but we're gonna stick with the strips for now. And then the eggs, I was very happy and pleasantly surprised when shopping for eggs today. So this, I usually eat about 8 eggs a day. I have 4 at the beginning of my meal, and I incorporate 4 into my meal. And this pack of 60 eggs came out to about $16, so almost right at $15, which means that the price of eggs for me has basically been cut in half since the last time that I got them, just a few weeks ago. So we were paying about 50 cents an egg. Now they are, 25, 26, 27 cents an egg. This averages, $3 a dozen? That's incredible. That's fantastic. $3 a dozen. I remember when I was a kid, and it was even less expensive than that. But regardless, that's the lowest price for eggs that I've paid in years. Unless they were on sale, you know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm quite happy with that. Egg prices have finally normalized again. To be honest, I didn't check to see what the prices were for just the regular dozen. I'm sure they're a little bit more expensive. But that's why you grab a big pack of 60. That's because you're going to go through them quick enough. You get a little bit of an additional discount. And I love it. So really good news on our end. So yeah, we're getting more variety with our food in the next coming days. Getting lower prices on our eggs. And strip bacon, which means breakfast burritos. Massive breakfast burritos with potato and onion inside. Looking forward to that. If you have any other suggestions of what you would like to see, feel free to leave it down in the comments section. I do read every single comment that comes in, and I try to respond to most of them. Again, I like simple meals that don't take a whole bunch of pans to put together and aren't going to take hours on end. But that doesn't mean that we can't be a little bit creative, jump out of our shell ever so slightly. So even if I don't, quote unquote, take your advice, I do appreciate the comments because it does influence some of my other decisions. So don't be offended if I don't put something into practice. We have our russet potatoes. Let's cut these down. Cube these. Perfect, and I just love the sound with meat sizzling on the pan while I'm in the kitchen. Really satisfying sound. We have rice on the rice cooker directly behind us. Let's just throw this in. All that moisture that collected at the bottom is evaporating pretty quickly. Maybe back down to a good oil, giving a good cook. Getting nice crispy edges on these potatoes in no time. So it's not boiling on itself, which is great. We'll go to our onion. This is our massive behemoth. I mean, look at that. It's bigger than a baseball. It's insane. It's our last behemoth onion. We're only going to be using half of this. Actually, we might not be using any of it. Just taking a look at it. This edge looks really bad. It is our last onion for a reason, because it is our oldest onion. So let's take a look at this. Yeah, that doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. Out of curiosity, we're going to take a couple of layers off. See if any of it is salvageable. Yeah, that doesn't look good at all. How many layers do we need to take off for it to be good? See, this actually doesn't look bad. That looks a lot better. This is like a normal sized onion now. Let's take one more layer off, just to be safe. Great, well in that case we will use the whole onion, because all of the other onion was not salvageable. Oh well. That's why we went to the store and got ourselves a bunch more onion, so that we won't have to deal with that little hiccup anymore. So let's go over here. Excellent. Excellent. So even though we got our rice going in the rice cooker, and I'll show it here shortly. There's our rice. We're not going to use any of that. We have day-old rice, or in our case, three-day-old rice. We're going to put half a cup in there. I did promise Noah I would get more beans. I did forget to get beans. We've been trying to supplement our rice. We usually do a cup of uncooked rice. It's a lot of calories. We try to supplement that with some beans. So for some more protein, some more fiber, a little bit less carbohydrates. Today I'm not feeling particularly hungry because of the 12-hour shift that I worked. It threw me off of my eating schedule. And so I picked up more of that Mexican food that you guys hear me talk about from time to time. I believe it's actually a featured video on our channel. So I picked up some Mexican food and ate that during the middle of my shift. And so as a result, I'm actually quite full. I feel just fine. But regardless, we need to get back into the swing of things with, our daily at-home meal prep. I mean, and I've talked about this before, where it's really easy to kind of get thrown off track with your regular eating habits. You know, one part of your day, of your schedule changes, and then you're going out and you're eating fast food, which is what I did. And if you look at the video, you'll say, that's not fast food. It's like, well, yeah, but it's eating out. It's, you know, an additional expense. You know, the food is, you know, probably not as bad as McDonald's or something like that, but regardless, it's, you know, it's an additional expense, and that's not something that I need. So we're going to get back into the swing of things, but I won't be able to eat quite as much food as I usually do. So I estimate that the total weight of our meal is going to come out to about 2 pounds rather than the 2.5 that we're used to. We got some good temp in our pan. The oil that we use, we're using just a light bit of coconut oil, probably like a tablespoon worth of coconut oil. It's coated all of the food pretty evenly, and all of the water that was in here is evaporated out now. My only concern is that the potatoes will stick to the bottom of the pan, and so we'll keep that at medium heat. Let everything kind of soften up a little bit. I doubt the potatoes are ready to eat. No. So we'll let the potatoes soften up a little bit more. The chicken is excellent. I can tell the chicken is fantastic. Tastes great. We'll season all of this with a bit of garlic salt and some pepper. It's kind of our go-to seasoning. Nothing super special, but it's a good flavor. Let's stir this up. Good. That's a good combination right there. You know, and I think for good measure, there's plenty of salt in there already, but we're going to add a bit of soy sauce as well. Usually I wait for the rice to go in and put this in so that it absorbs much better. I think what we're going to do this time is focus on getting the rice and the egg to combine with each other really well. Perfect. Yeah, I really like that. And it just occurred to me, how am I supposed to have egg fried rice if I put all of my eggs in the refrigerator? Shame on me. I know better than that. So let's get our eggs out. There's our bacon. A little sneak peek of the bacon in there. And I usually do another 4 eggs, but today, since we're using less rice than usual, we're just going to go with 3 eggs. I think that'll be plenty. This rice that we have cooking over here in our crock pot, we'll save that for tomorrow, and that'll be our new and improved day-old rice. My phone has been blowing up, so give me a second to see what's going on here. I got, okay, just some alerts. Just some random notifications. No text, no emergencies. So this is good. The soy sauce is giving us a nice color. You can see the onions now browning up on the edges. We're gonna check this potato. Honestly, could still probably go for a while, but I'm not too concerned. The edges are nice and crispy. Just the inside is not super buttery soft like a mashed potato, but that's fine. This will continue to cook into itself here in the bowl, and it will cook again when we add it back in the pan. So let's take our rice. There we go. Then we'll break this apart. This looks like way less rice when you put it in like this. This looks like I have barely any rice in here at all. But trust me, I mean, this is a cup and a half of cooked rice. It's actually quite a lot. I thought I was good just leaving the eggs up there like before, but I've decided I actually want to scramble these. It'll take me 3 seconds. So let's get this out of the way. There's a nice big yolk in there. Good. Grab ourselves a small fork over here. No milk needed. Nothing extra, nothing fancy. Just give it a good whisk. Good. Pour this on top of our rice. Turn up the heat. Gonna have like no oil in the system now, so the bottom is going to be just a little bit sticky. That's no problem. You can also get away with like using a little tool like this, but I'm kind of impartial to the spatula. Like I said, I like cooking everything in one pan. I like using the same kind of ingredients, and I don't want to use kind of more than one tool. I make enough of a mess cooking this way already. The temperature is good. This egg will cook up and fry really well shortly. The pan just needs to catch up to speed, or up to temp again. If you've heard that song, like on Instagram or YouTube, you know it's extremely catchy, and I was listening to it at work last night. It just kept popping up in my feed, and it's just stuck in my head right now. I cannot get it out of my head. I was really good. I was gonna go this whole video without making that sound, but it's just so funny. Anyway. Okay, we're almost done. We're almost done, people. It's amazing to think that in front of me right now is 500 calories in carbs from just the rice. And that double this would be 1,000 calories in carbs. I mean, it's a lot of calories that are in rice. And as much as I would love to just throw what I have in the bowl back in here, I did this way intentionally because I really want this to get cooked through really nice. So I'm going to put the temp up even more. Obviously the best way to do this is with a wok, because the bottom is just so red fire hot that that's why they have that motion that they use when they cook with a wok. Just have really minimal contact and an extremely hot base of their tool. Just absolutely eviscerates all of the moisture out of the pan. But if you're willing to be patient, if you're a patient person, you'll be able to accomplish something similar in a Midwestern house like this. So let's add this back. Let's now incorporate our rice. Now I have this egg fried rice. So potatoes and onions and chicken. Look at that. And there we go. Look at that. This is nice, don't you think? Came together quite well. I'm about to make a huge mess. This is about to fall all over the side table here, which is perfect. Frankly, this might be one of the more normal size meals that I've made. It's still more than what probably the average person would cook up for themselves and eat. But because we're doing less rice than usual, and nothing else to supplement with it, this actually looks like a pretty reasonable meal. If you're new to this channel and you are just tuning in for the first time, usually this food is heaping up over the sides, and it takes everything in my power to keep me from making a mess. I wish our thumbnails could just be GIFs. You know what I mean? I know if you scroll over a thumbnail on YouTube, it'll show you a little bit from the video, but I really wish that I could just pick exactly what in the video I want people to see when they scroll over. So anyway, before I get too far ahead of myself, let's get this set up. Yep, they're already on pounds. There was no reason for me to move things around like that. I don't know if these are clean or dirty, but I only need one bowl. I think this is dirty. I only need one bowl to zero out so we can measure the food itself rather than the bowl as well. Let's place this on, please. 2 pounds. 2 pounds. Dang, not even 2 pounds. 1.845 pounds. So yeah, this is one of the smallest meals that I have made on the One Meal channel in a very long time. I mean, on average, our meals are pushing over a pound, about a pound heavier than this right now. So this is a nice change of pace, just something simple, something to get back in the rhythm of things. I mean, today was a maintenance day. Tired from having to change our schedule from working the graveyard, excited that we no longer have to work the graveyard and we're just going to be working the swing shift now, which is great. And no longer going to be eating food that you get from the store. No longer going to be getting restaurant food. Just going to be taking 5 days to eat some food from our own house, and maybe get a little bit of variety. Bring the bacon back, do some stews again, maybe even cook a whole roast chicken. So if it's not this week, then it's next week. Otherwise, it's going to go bad. I don't really have a choice. So I appreciate all of you for watching. Thank you again, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.